Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first impressions on Urban Decay's All Nighter Liquid Foundation in the shade 3.25. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and opinions and seeing how this wears throughout the day, then just simply keep on watching. So if you guys watched last week's video, which was a haul, I did talk about the Urban Decay foundation, and in particular was this having a bit of a whinge about the actual shade. So 3.25 is meant to be their neutral tone foundation for light to medium skin tones, which in writing is exactly what I personally look for in a foundation. However, when I swatched it, at first it came out like nearly white. That's how light it pumps out. And then once it totally oxidized after about 20 minutes, it was very pink tone. I was just pretty put off by that because I really don't like pink tone foundations. If I can't get a neutral tone foundation, I usually go for a yellow tone. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling about the color. I'm going to try it on and see how it goes. The reason I'm in my robe is because if it's really pink on my face, I'm just gonna have to wear a turtleneck for the day pretty much. So let's just get into actually trying this out and we'll go from there. All my regulars know what my skin's like, but for any new faces, hello, thank you for clicking on this video and you're about to get up in my grill. So I have a lot of pigmentation around the bottom of my face, a lot of redness, and I also have a lot of hormonal acne predominantly around my chin. This is what my acne situation is at the moment, as you guys can see, all around the bottom of this part of my chin, and then here's the redness I was talking about. I have a lot of blotchy red skin, and at the moment my skin is more in the sort of combo phase, so I find like the bottom half of my face is more on the dry side, but I get quite an oily forehead in particular, so it'll be interesting to see how this wears anyway. So I've already moisturized my face and I'm just going to go in with my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus water and just spritz my face. So my two preferred ways of applying foundation are with my Morphe M439 brush or with a beauty blender. So for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to do the left side of my face with my Morphe brush and my right side of my face with my beauty blender and see how I prefer which one apply. What am I trying to say? To see which one I like better for applying the foundation is what I'm trying to say. Oh, my brain is like goo. It's only 9 AM and I'm a bit sick and it's just not connecting the dots. Sorry. This video is gonna be great. But anyway, at least I'm in a good mood. So I'm just gonna take my foundation bottle, and I always like to pump my foundation onto a hard surface. So this is just a powder compact. And I'm just gonna start with 2 pumps because I hear this stuff goes a long way and it's thick, really thick. So I'm just going to dot it across my face. See how light that comes out on my face? So light. I'm just gonna start with like a little and then I'll build it up. Oh my gosh, look, that's already oxidizing. 1 dot. I don't know if you guys can even see that. That 1 dot is already oxidizing. That's so funny. So guys, while you're watching me pop this foundation on, I'm going to read you a little bit about the product. So it says, the ultimate foundation for a flawless looking complexion. This waterproof formula provides complete coverage that lasts all day or all night. Wow, it's pretty full coverage. Kind of has a funny smell. With a modern matte finish that never looks overdone. Achieve a blown out effect you never thought possible for a skin that looks amazing and stays that way. Perfect for all night affairs and other scandalous activities. This revolutionary formula is also comfortable to wear every day. That colour's actually not looking too bad right now. It's just light, so it just needs to oxidize a bit darker and it would actually be okay. Maybe I talk shit too soon about the colour. I feel like it looks a little bit cakey around this part of my face with the brush, so the beauty blender will probably actually maybe stipple that out a little bit nicer and make it a little bit less cakey. We loaded this full coverage foundation with such an intense amount of pigment that a little goes a long way, and there's no need to build your coverage or apply multiple layers. Light diffusing pigments blur flaws for beautifully perfected skin, whilst high-tech ingredients mattify and absorb oil to reduce the appearance of shine. Choose from a wide range of meticulously calibrated shades for your most perfect complexion. Shake well, then buff with one of our UD Pro foundation brushes. Ooh, I didn't shake it. Awkward. But it felt fine, but I didn't shake it. So first impressions, I do like how it applied with the beauty blender better, I think, just because it is so full coverage. I kind of feel like it's a little bit too cakey on this side of my face. whilst this side it is a little bit sheerer, but it just sits on the skin better. I feel like I talked shit about that shade way too quickly. Like, even though it's lighter than my neck, it's like doesn't look pink on my face at the moment. So I guess we'll see how much more it oxidizes. But so it is just 9:18, so I'm just gonna let this sit for about 20 minutes just to see how dark it oxidizes down to. So guys, it's been about 20 minutes. As you can see, it does not match my neck. My neck is definitely darker and probably a little bit more yellow than the actual foundation. It's not pink. It doesn't look pink in the slightest, so hallelujah, thank the Lord. I'm so glad about that because I was really worried it was gonna be super pink. It might continue to oxidize more as I do the rest of my makeup, so I'll let you guys know that, but at the moment it definitely doesn't match. But I think once I do like my concealing, my bronzing and contouring, it might not look too bad, so we'll just have to play with it. But first impressions, like to touch, it's completely matte. Like I don't feel like I'm going to rub off my makeup if I touch my face. There's like the tiniest little bit of transfer, but it kind of nearly feels like powder. Like it dries down to sort of a powdery texture more so than like it feeling like a liquid. I can definitely feel it on my face. Like I can feel it sitting on my face 110%, which with full coverage foundations is usually the case. That's not unusual for me personally. So overall, it's looking pretty nice. So I'm interested to see what it's gonna look like when I finish the rest of my makeup. So I'm just gonna go jump off camera and do that now, and I'll check back in with you the second I'm finished. Okay guys, I am back. It is nearly 10:30, so it's been about an hour since I put this foundation on. I have the rest of my makeup on. I didn't even have to set my face with a powder just because of how this foundation sets on its own. So all I did was conceal and set my under eyes. I always put a bit of concealer and powder on my chin, and I just put a tiny bit of concealer on my forehead. I didn't even set my forehead though, which is really weird. I always set my foundations. Like I feel like I even set my Maybelline Fit Me, but this particular foundation, I just felt like it dried down to the finish of what my foundation usually feels and looks like once I've set it with a powder, which is super crazy, and I kind of really like it. So like at the moment, my first impression is I'm loving it. I just need to find my right color. So I'm starting to think that maybe even shade 4 would not be dark enough. I think I might actually need to get shade 5, and then this shade 3.25 I can wear when I'm on like the very last legs of my fake tan, if you get what I mean, or I can like mix it in with shade 5 probably and it would still be fine. So I'm super happy it's not a total fail of a color. I was so concerned. And the sun just like wants to play me. Every time I try to click film, it either comes out or it goes away. Natural lighting problems, my gosh. But yeah, first impressions, I'm really happy with it. Like it is definitely a super full coverage foundation. So if you guys don't like full coverage foundations, then I have hair on my face, then you may not like this particular one. So I'm curious to see how long it lasts throughout the day and if it's like a good 8 hours and if my forehead gets shiny or anything like that. I'm so excited. So I'm going to go and do a bunch of house stuff. I have family coming to stay with me next weekend, so I've got to do laundry, mop floors, wash sheets, change bedding. So I'm gonna go do all that, and I'll check back in with you guys later. I may check back in this setup, or I may go vlog style. I don't know. You guys seem to like when I do the vlog style check-ins, so we'll see what I decide to do. But yeah, overall, so far, I'm super stoked. Say hello to everyone. So I literally just haven't bothered getting dressed today because I had no intention of going anywhere, and I've also felt so sick all day. So I'm now doing my 5-hour check-in. Whoa, Lily, calm down. You want to say hello to everyone too, do you? Oh, cute. So anyway, 5-hour check-in, and so far so good. I have been blowing my nose a fair bit like I said before, so it has come off around my nose and it is starting to get a tiny bit shiny. Sorry, I'm just looking at myself in the viewfinder and the light's like blinding me in my lounge room. Oh, first world problems. But yeah, it's getting a tiny bit shiny, but nothing bad. Like I think it's wearing quite well actually, because by now I would have to powder my forehead, and honestly, like if I was at work or if I was out and about, I wouldn't bother touching up at the moment. Even my nose, where like I've been blowing, it doesn't even look that bad. Like I feel like a lot of the makeup has still stuck. And then around some of my acne, it is a tiny bit crusty, but nothing like super terrible, nothing unbearable or anything like that. So I guess I'll leave it on for another couple hours and we'll see if we can leave it till the 8-hour mark and see how it looks then. Alright guys, it is final check-in time. It is just after 5:20, but we have just hit the 8-hour mark and I am so impressed with how this foundation has worn throughout the day. It has only just now gotten oily enough to the point that I would powder my forehead and like my chin and probably touch up my nose if I was planning on continuing to wear this foundation. I personally don't wear foundations longer than 8 hours pretty much ever if I'm going to be showing my face in public at all anyway. Like the only time I do is if I'm going to work and then I come straight home and I take it straight off. So I'm really happy with it. Do you love it, Lily? Do you think Mummy's foundation looks pretty? What about you, Mimi? Yes? What do we vote it? If the color was right, this would be a 10 out of 10 foundation for me personally. This is like exactly what I look for in a full coverage foundation, but just because the color that I chose, which it's not Urban Decay's problem, it's more my problem. Once I actually can find the right color, I'll definitely give you guys an update. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. So I'm just hoping it doesn't break me out or anything like that. The only one other thing I forgot to say throughout the entirety of this video is if you are dry, I feel like you might hate this foundation. So any of my dry babes, comment below if you've tried it and let us know what you thought of it, just so you can let our fellow friends with dry skin know how it goes. Because I just think the way it sets, how it's kind of like that powdery matte finish, I feel like if you had a lot of dry patches and a lot of flaky skin, it would really grab and cross to those areas. I found it did slightly on a couple of my pimples, but like nothing that makes me uncomfortable enough to the point that like I wouldn't wear it, if that makes sense. And I found it didn't settle in any fine lines whatsoever. It had fantastic lasting power, and it's kind of similar to my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. So I feel like I've pretty much covered everything I can think of when it comes to this foundation. If I've missed anything, I'll pop it in the description box for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up for me, and of course subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be talking to you really soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a makeup haul.